Hi, so I'm Maricelis Acevedo, and I'm a research professor in the School of Integrated Plant Science in the section of plant pathology and plant microbe. So what I want to tell you today, it's a little bit different than what you've been seeing before, because I'm talking about kind of the last mile. So I have the great pleasure of working with an amazing group of scientists locally and abroad, and building on generations of discovery. So in this case, it's for BT eggplant in Bangladesh. So farmers in Bangladesh spray eggplant up to 100 times in one season with insecticides, just to produce a crop. And sometimes after even spraying 100 times insecticides, they lose up to 70%. And they don't want to eat the eggplant that they grow in the field. They sell it because they know it's loaded with insecticide. So it was so simple as introducing a single gene from Bacillus thuringiensis and produce varieties that reached farmers in 2013, thanks to a collaboration between Cornell, a couple of private sector organizations, Sadhguru, that is a consultant in India, Mexico, that had a technology that was on the shelf because India didn't allow for GM eggplant to be produced in country, but Bangladesh really wanted that technology, so Cornell helped support that interaction between Mexico, Sadhguru, the government of Bangladesh, thanks to the Ministry of Agriculture, and be able to bring eggplant to Bangladesh in 2013 in 4 different varieties that were released, and 20 farmers got access to those seeds. And since then, up to 60,000 farmers in a single season grow BT eggplant. So you will think like right now, like, wow, what a great success story. So the challenge is that these 4 varieties only cover a small portion of the diversity that is needed to have full adoption of the technology. Oh, that changed colors. So what are the benefits of this technology? So farmers are getting up to 6 times more yields in return from their investment. We see a huge reduction in the use of insecticide. So insecticide not only in terms of the amount of chemical, but also the cost, because it costs up to 40% of the entire cost of production goes to insecticide application. Because this is the major pest. There's other insects that still need to be controlled, but they're in a particular stage of the production, and it's minimal compared to having to protect for the fruit and shoot border. We've seen a 20% increase in yield, 6 times in returns, 20% in gross revenue. So I'm trying to read this for you so that you can see a little bit better. And we have a 41% reduction in toxicity caused by insecticides, as reported by symptoms of the farmers that are growing this technology. So what we are, in my project, what we're doing right now is trying to fill the gap. So again, we have like up to 60,000 farmers growing BT eggplant, but that only accounts for like 10% of the farming communities that are growing eggplant in Bangladesh. So we have all that room to grow. So what are the challenges? The varieties that we have are susceptible to wilt. So this is what happens when you take a very narrow approach. You develop this, you have a great gene, you put it in the varieties they had at the time. It took close to 20 years to get these varieties approved. And by the time these varieties hit the ground and the farmers are starting to adopt it, they realize, oh, it's not in the market preferred varieties. Oh, it's susceptible to wilt. It can only be grown in the winter, not the summer. The summer is a larger season. It doesn't have the right size, the fruit, but during that period of time, while we are worrying about adoption, we are not thinking of a pipeline for breeding. And so my approach since 2020 is to build that pipeline for multiple traits. So we're bringing, as a plant pathologist, I'm bringing wilt resistance. So we have done wilt tolerance is what we have available, but we don't have full resistance. So working with Greg Martin, we're thinking about PTR1, but again, it's a GMO, it takes a lot of time to produce. So what are the approaches that we can take in the meantime? Is private sector engagement the way to go? So not only to bring new varieties, hybrids, because the farmers in Bangladesh now want hybrids because they've seen how popular hybrids are in the country for other vegetables, including eggplant. So we're in the process of bringing 2 additional open pollinated varieties that have some tolerance to wilt, and then hybrids that have more tolerance to wilt, but also can produce hybrids that are more shelf-stable, more uniform. But this is through a private to private sector engagement. So we'll see what the government of Bangladesh, that as 2 days ago was formed again. So this is the challenge of taking technology to the field. And so amazing science that you all are developing needs people like me and my team that are willing to take your science to the field. So I'm here now at BTI office 200C. So if we can talk about technology that you have, things that we can do together, I would love to hear your ideas. Thank you.